So today we're going to continue our talk on plate tectonics, and our focus question is what happens at the different types of plate boundaries. So first let's start with the theory of plate tectonics. It evolved from the theory of continental drift that included Wegener's idea of Pangea, and it gives a more complete picture that includes all of the evidence that the continents have moved and are still moving. So what are the lithospheric plates? They're large portions of the crust called lithospheric plates. They ride on top of the mantle across the Earth's surface. And there's two different types of crust, both continental and oceanic. So what's going on at these plate boundaries? So there's 7 major and several minor lithospheric plates, and the edges of most plates lie beneath the oceans. There's 3 different types of boundaries: convergent, divergent, and transform boundaries. At convergent boundaries, this forms where plates collide together. So in this picture, you see the oceanic crust colliding with the continental. The pressure and the violence at these boundaries produces things like mountains, earthquakes, and volcanoes. The movement of one plate under another is called subduction. So you'll see that in this picture, the oceanic crust slides underneath the continental into this subduction zone where it then melts back into the mantle. This oceanic crust we know goes below the continental because the oceanic crust is more dense. Divergent. This forms when 2 plates move away from each other. This is like that seafloor spreading that we talked about yesterday. So melted rock from the mantle can seep to the surface at these boundaries and form this new crust. So the area closest to this ridge, where the plate boundaries are diverging from each other, is the newest area of crust. Most are in oceans and build undersea mountain ranges called mid-ocean ridges. So all around this, you'll notice that there will be mountain ranges. Transform boundaries. These form where 2 plates slide past each other. When the sliding rocks grind against each other, it creates a jolt known as an earthquake. So here's a map of the plate boundaries, and you'll notice that although there is an African plate, it is not the exact size of Africa. And there is a North American plate, and it's not the exact size. And a lot of these plate boundaries occur over the ocean or under the ocean instead of over land, with some exceptions. So right here, if you see 2 arrows going away from each other, this is indicating a divergent boundary. And here we have 2 plates coming together, and this is a convergent boundary. And then you have these types of plates like you see on the western side of the United States where they're sliding past each other. And this is a transform boundary. So when 2 plates collide, what type of boundary is this? Convergent. This is a picture of 2 plates. Divergent boundary. This is where earthquakes occur most often. Transform boundary. Plates that slip past each other. Transform boundary. This is a picture that is a demonstration of a convergent boundary. Volcanoes most often form at convergent boundaries. This picture is a picture of a transform boundary. Plates that move away from each other, divergent boundary. New crust is formed. Divergent boundary. That is all for today. Go ahead and move on to your worksheet for the day, as well as the extra lessons that are listed for you on the science website.